So yeah, the one of the most focused thing for today is turning the leadership into the enterprise output, AI output, right? So it is very very much important to utilize the intent which is available inside the human. Okay, and that's where you get an output, literally speaking. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so what do we really exactly need? Huh? So, we need to define the traditional object, okay, which is nothing but your objective, which is available. And then, you need to understand how you will translate that into the AI which can work for you. See, AI again is a system which has to work for you. Okay, you should not work for AI. Okay, this is a very important phrase. Okay, so how AI should work for you, we should understand, and that is the reason why you are mastering that. For example, when you go to any kung fu or karate or anything, why do you learn that? Because if in some emergency cases, if somebody comes and attack, so those skills will help you from somebody attacking you, you can defend in such a way. And parallelly, you can attack also. So there is an attack and defense mode which is available, right? So that is the reason why, these exact disciplines, what we are discussing today, the intent is very, very, very much important for any person, for anything. You know, that lies behind the screen. Okay, so for that, first of all, we should understand and we should define, okay, what is that right approach, in the sense, what is that, absolute right, objective. And then you need to provide the context. The context comes later, not the first. Every people, what they do in their pitching or anywhere, they provide the context first, okay? And they forget about the objective, what they want to achieve, literally. Okay, and that is where the misconception comes into the picture. So even at the prompting level, when you are prompting in another sense, let's say when you are giving a query, for example, a simple thing, write a report, that is very weak. That is, it does not do anything. Literally, it literally does not do anything. Okay, so that thing is nothing which you are giving an indication to the to your AI system what you have developed. Literally. Okay, so that is the reason why you need to have the defined objective, the defined context with the inputs. Okay, and you need to clarify who are these audience, what they are going to do, and what kind of tone you need, and what are the boundaries. How humans we set our own boundaries. Similarly, you need to have the constraints. Okay, and then what kind of an output you are expecting, and then you define the quality around it. Okay, what kind of a quality you need. So, for example, Satish, sir, you can open up your computer and you can start typing this also. Okay, and Krishna and any other people who have joined the other call, this is again, a free thing for you guys to get learn and get it over, literally. Okay, so hope you have understood, the traditional skill matrix versus AI prompting skill matrix, how it has to match. Okay, because we are you know. Putting a human over here, humans have the intent in the sense, again, human knows what he want to do. If he have understood the task from the Jira ticket, or from the task what he have to do, from the stuff what he have to do, human have already understood that. So now he has to translate that thing into the output. Okay, so that is the reason why we are mapping these two, okay, those exact disciplines, and trying to get the better output from there. Okay, so for example, one of the strong query prompt which you can ask right now to the system, once you have your system ready, and this is an exercise which I've been doing with Krishna a lot. And what happens sometimes is, you get into that babysitting mode is what we think. Okay, but that's absolutely what sometimes happen when you don't know what is that objective around it. Okay. So to complete that particular objective, what are the tasks, what you want? If you don't know them, that is where the problem gets started. So lot of enterprise leaders and lot of, the people who are working in the industry, they just go and they just give the simple prompt. Hey, write a report. I think they think that things will get completed. That's absolutely wrong. Again, that is a weak prompt. Okay. So, for example, for me, we've been discussing that, right? To complete one of the use case, create a steering committee report, create an incident report, create a risk report, as we have discussed earlier in our sessions. So, if you just go over there and create an incident report, and when you type these kind of prompts, because you know the system what you are using, it might be an chat GPT, ObGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or whatever it is. It does not know the context and it does not know the audience who you are preparing to. And that is the reason why you need to get into such a level of prompt engineering to build and to convert the business. Okay. And that will help you to understand what you want to do. And now, you can say act as a senior enterprise manager using the project updates, whatever the project updates which you get from the LLM engine, which you have designed, which have written and everything, using the project updates which are below, saying that, hey, these are the project updates. Please collect that from the Jira. Please collect them from the DevOps or Azure DevOps or any other platforms. You input that below, in the sense you input that and prepare one page steering committee report for CIO and CSO stakeholders. Include overall status, completed milestone, top three risk, dependencies, decisions required, and all these kind of stuff. You can literally do it. Okay, this is a kind of a prompt which you have to send it, and it will give you a beautiful, report in that. And in the second, prompt, even yesterday, as I have discussed, I have written an email, you itself go ahead and, start drafting out few of the, top 15 prompts which you want to use or any other stuff, right? So this is how the concise and executive language which you can speak without, you know, inventing the misinformation which you have to feed it to your group of people or any other people. Okay, so that is something which you can work on, right? So that is how things will come into the picture. Okay, so hope I'm clear at that end, right? Yeah. So, as I
Yep.
mentioned, this is how you get your results, and this is how you get your results. As we have discussed the prompt, the strong instruction. Prompt is nothing but it's a very, very strong instruction. Okay, but as being an AI researcher, this prompt is nothing but this is a query which you are sending out to a knowledge-based system which has been formulated, you know by using any kind of RAG systems, and you're getting an output from here by using the LLM engine. Okay. So that query engines and all that, as we have discussed in early sessions, it will work out. Okay. So we'll move to the next slide. So this is how the entire framework can work around for you, literally. So as we have discussed, going back to the define the quality expected, specific output, set the boundaries, clarify the audience, provide the context, and all that. What we have been seeing on that, right? The objective and everything. So if you understand now, going back to the leadership prompt framework, act as an enterprise cybersecurity director. Okay, because we are focusing majorly into this director roles and VP roles for you, and that is how we are personalizing this particular training and everything. So the role, who should the AI act as? First of all, it should know that. Okay, you can say that, if you're starting a startup, act as an, Steve Jobs, because he's very well known. Because whatever the videos, whatever the, blogs, whatever the articles which are available on the internet, the systems have been already trained very well. Okay, so we should not, think about again getting that, training level kind of a stuff, because systems have been trained, humans have not been trained. That is the only difference over here. Okay. So understanding that gap. Okay, and going further to seek out the right help again with the AI. And this is what the role play comes into the picture. And then this is a global IAM modernization program. So you're setting up a context to it. Okay. And that is you're setting up and you know exactly what you're doing over there. And then you are saying, identify the top global delivery, the risks, whatever you want to do, you are saying to the system that identify them at the topest level. That is the objective. Okay, what the system has to do. And do not, and then, my bad, right? And what are the inputs? So as we have said in the last prompt also, below are the below inputs are below. Use the attack risk registry and understand what you have to do. So these are nothing but attack risk registry from any source, whatever the source which you have or anything, right? Again, so you put that over there, and that is how you pretty much match that inputs. Okay, and then you are saying that do not assume missing facts. Okay, and those are the constraints. You are bounding it out. You are literally saying that be in this zone. Okay, don't come out of that. And then provide the risk, impact, likelihood, ownership, mitigation. You are asking for a quick output. Okay, quality criteria is what makes it very much useful, and who it has to make it useful, and prioritize that five most material risks which are available, and who are those people who you want to talk, CIOs, CSOs, and all that kind of people. You are putting it over there and you are sending. And these are few of the important the checks which you have to have always when you are asking help for these systems, literally. Okay, and this is one of the example. Okay, and then we are moving into the next level, right? So the framework that gets deployed at every facet, as we have seen. Now how the you know how this prompts can work for you, literally. Okay, and you need to understand who are the people who are going to sit, and that intent. You need to have the intent of your boss. For example, when you are submitting this report, you have to submit this report to a steering committee. And what does that steering committee report will have, and what are those packs, and what are that portfolio reporting, and all that kind of stuff comes into the picture, literally. Okay, and you take that very useful, and you consider that, and you give it to the people, and this is the entire landscape. For example, when you are working with the cyber security people, what do you really have to gather over there, right? So incident summaries and threat beliefs and all these kind of stuff. So this is the intent what you need to have as a human, and this is the intent what you have to feed to the people also. Okay, so for example, let's take the same thing as a risk management or risk manager who is working. So now you have to say to the system, act as an enterprise risk advisor, okay, to review the project information. Below are the identified delivery risks and the security operations, vendor compliances, change management, and everything. You put it over there and rank them by the impact and the likelihood. Okay, for each risk which are recommended, because you already have the registers and you already have the compliance and everything, right? So you get that, you put it over there, and you do that. And this kind of a prompt will be useful for you to create a registry creations, or risk reviews, or program planning, or vendor evaluation, or security governance, and all this. And similarly, when you go to the cyber security side, you are saying, act as a senior SOC advisor, summarize the security alerts, and for the below CIO level, because he is your audience, and explain what happened. Okay, and ask it to give you the what are the affected assets, business impacts and evidence available, and uncertainty, and immediately uh, show the containment actions for that, what kind of containment actions, and make sure when you are playing this SOC advisor role, you have to always use the, constraints over here. Do not claim attribution unless and until it is supported by any kind of an evidence. So when you input this kind of a prompt, what you will get is you will get the incident summaries, you'll get the threat beliefs, you'll get the security reports, you'll get the investigation assistance, and you'll get the executive communication, what you have to do. Okay. So these are few of the examples what I'm telling you on the prompts. Hope I'm very much clear on that, right? Yeah. So would you want to try few of them right now, or else shall we go ahead and look at the other slides also? Okay, because the next couple of slides will be more or less, domain level application where you have to apply them, right? So for example, at an executive reporting, you have to convert that entire scattered, work stream, excuse me, work stream into the updates into a concise status level. Okay. Right. So what would be that likelihood? For example, this is the small, initiative which you are doing, the status, milestone, the description, and blah, 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 blah. You write it over there. And this entire thing can be given by the system, right? The AI system, what you are working on, literally. Okay. So for the same thing again on the at the domain level application, how do you do that? And what we have discussed right now, and like that for the vendor evaluation. Okay, so these are the four. It's my bad. These are the six different intents, and we are just breaking them down at an application level. Okay, so what kind of clear distinction between the confirmed risk and assumptions? Create an heat map is what you are asking. I mean, like the likelihood between the impact and this, literally. Okay, so you're doing all this kind of a stuff and the process level, vendor level, process transformation level. So instruction, you are giving this focus and the key frameworks, what you want to do, and the constraints. Okay. So, you create the transformation strategy at a different level, but at every level, you need to have the human review, and human has to pretty much, you know, get that thing reviewed, literally. And without that, you should not go ahead. Okay. And that is very, very much important. And asking, AI to critique its own output is also one of the key thing what you can do. You can say that if an output is being generated by ChatGPT, you can take at the end, you can critique it, saying that, hey, you know what, the same output will get validated by Claude or Anthropic or Claude and Anthropic are same thing. Anthropic is the platform and Claude is the product, but yeah, my bad. Yeah. So you can critique it because Anthropic is very good at critiquing others and they sell a lot of fear, okay, when compared to the product. And you can ask, there are plenty of other stuff. Abacus is one of the platform which you can, get into, and it's a very beautiful and it's an aggregator platform. Okay, and then you have OpGPT also for you for your sake, and you can get that critic kind of an output, or you can validate it again. Okay, so over here what you really get out of this all the prompts is you get that supplied information, you are citing those resources, and you are getting to understand what are the challenges in these different kind of themes which are available, and you are pretty much suggesting the different use cases, and the transformation really happens, and what is going to make really better, literally, right? And you are indicating that uncertainty, and you're avoiding that inventing the new data or any other stuff. Every person in the organization literally speaks about, hey, I need this kind of data, I can do this kind of a stuff. But when you are doing that at an enterprise level, you need to understand that at an enterprise for years, there is a lot of data which is available. Okay. You cannot invent the new data. You either get the data which is available and create a transformation strategy beyond that by using the help of these kind of prompts, and everything. Okay. And if you are creating or inventing the new data with the help of AI, it cannot do. For example, Chat GPT, for whatever the subscription which you have or anything, it is only, the system has been trained only August 2025. It is 1 year behind us. And if you are thinking that by using Chat GPT, generative AI or anything, I'm going to create my future, it is never going to happen. Okay. Remember this forever. Okay, ChatGPT or any generative AI application, it is never going to happen. Okay, that is very, very simple. Okay, so that is the reason why you need to say exclusively to these, systems when you are, building any kind of report or when you are trying to get any kind of an help. You need to consider it as an, virtual employee. Okay, not as an human employee, but a virtual employee who is going to work for you. So that is the reason why you need to, fix that constraint saying that, hey, do not invent the project status, because project status is already available for you at the Jira or at any dashboards which you are using, such as Avatar or any other stuff. The project status, if the people are putting it over there, it is already available, right? And the dates and the financial values, the risk, the decisions. Okay, all this do not invent. You should say it very exclusively, not to invent. Okay, where information is missing, write, saying that information is required. That's all. What people do is, create me a DRP. Okay, for example, that is a very crazy thing. I really get it out of my mind also. They say that, I have gave a role play for the system saying that, act as an KPMG consultant and create an, DRP report or, create a business analysis report or whatever it is, for example, right? When you get an ideation or anything. And that is one of the biggest threat what we are seeing, because role plays has been wonderfully done in the Romeo and Juliet, but you cannot treat an AI system which is sitting over there as an Juliet or else or as a Romeo, because it cannot do it. Okay, so all it can do is whatever that routine work which is going around you in your life, that is what it can do, and that is what the reduction of time will happen. Okay, so all you have to know is how to use it wisely at a smart way. Okay, that is the reason why they say, na, work smart, not work hard. But both are required. You need to know where to work hard. You need to know where to work smart. Simple. Okay, so yeah, and by having these kind of ground evidences, by getting that kind of a transformation map for you. Okay, at an every step you need to have a human review. And there are few systems right now, in even in the enterprises, when people are writing these reports as an consultants who are working, and this has become a passion, right? I'll be the good consultant because AI knows everything. AI does not know anything. Okay, very blank statement. All it know is just to get the information for you. That's all. Okay. It's the user interface has been changed. That's all. Okay. I'm telling you, you just go and type a simple prompt, how well have you been trained or till what date you have been trained. Ask ChatGPT and it will tell you till what date it has been trained. Even the newest model, which is ChatGPT 5.6 or any other, it's been trained with those constraints. It does not get to know the futuristic thing. It knows only the past. The good thing is that in the organization, to do the root cause analysis, we have to sit down, we have to make a committee, we have to do all this kind of a stuff, and we have to get into the past and get the things done. The same root cause analysis now can be solved in days. From the weeks, you can come to the days. Maybe in 5 days, or maybe in 3 days or 4 days, because you already have those challenges, you already have those risks, everything which are getting stored in your databases, literally. Okay, right? So that is the reason why when you're doing all this kind of a stuff, you need to be very well aware of what kind of a confidentiality stuff you need to preserve. Okay, because you cannot give all the information to this system. Okay, and you need to understand how system can get hallucinated. This is a very biggest problem. And how system can get biased, because bias is already inbuilt. hallucination is also an inbuilt in the system, and system get over reliance. Okay, so when we say, babysitting few of our employees or anything, they are over relied on us, literally. Okay, so now it's not about the, in your job descriptions, they still write the job descriptions in such a way, they want to describe what job you want to do. Okay, and those are roles and the responsibilities. But now, things have changed a lot. Even in the job description, when they are asking, they are putting the responsibilities. But in the down bottom, they are also letting you know these are the ownerships which you have to do, which you have to take, literally. Okay, so that is very much needed. And if you train an AI system, or if you start reusing it very, heavily without the proper, review at an human level, then it become over relied on you, completely over relied. And if a people like me, or if people who are sitting at a CIO or CSO level, they immediately get to know you have utilized this. There is nothing. These are bunch of 10 20 papers which I have to sit down and what does any person do when you send an attachment or when you send anything? He again takes that particular document, feed it into his system, and he'll ask for what are the missing points, what are the give me a summary of this, what are the missing points, what are the good things, or what are the bad things, what are the risks which have been missed, what are the untrusted, what are the misinformation which is available, give me all that summary. And he'll give you that summary and he'll write an email. So that's how things have moved out. Okay, in a traditional way they used to sit down and read, and reading has been decreased, writing has been increased a little bit, because we are chatting with this kind of system. But only you will know what to write when you read. Without that you will not get to know. Okay, and that is nothing but is a problem, and you need to understand what is the factor of prompt injection, how does those things can happen, how that malicious content can get into the picture, and all that uh, uh, will get into the place, literally. Okay, so, and accountability is one of the biggest stuff, which you have to, put it into the account. And these are few of the examples what you are seeing, okay, on your slide, and that is nothing but whatever we have discussed till now. It is nothing but you are tuning it. Okay. Again, there is a different technical view for fine tuning. I don't want to get into that pure technicality or pure math behind it or any other. Okay. This, when we are discussing over here on these sessions, this is more related or pushed towards the, leadership level people only. Okay. And that is the reason why there are different, definition. The same definitions can be interpreted at a multiple levels, at a multiple, roles in a different way. Okay. So over here, you are tuning your system to get you the right value. Okay, and that is what you get into that calibration, and you have that AI self critics. So whatever the prompts which we have discussed, all those prompts are few shot prompting technique. Okay, and there are few other bunch of techniques, but at your job role, at your standing in your position, literally, you need to understand this few short prompts, whatever we have discussed. Okay, and those few short prompts will get you those verified output only when you limit it with the grounding evidence, and with the forcing AI acts, and with the minimizing those hallucinations which are literally unacceptable. You can give all that information. Okay, and you get it into that picture, and ultimately what you want is that accountability. Okay, and one of the library which you can start building from today is pretty much about the assets. What, how does the planning has to be there, how does the reporting has to be there, and this is a structured way which you can take into the picture, and you can start building that. Okay, and cyber security, you have a container folder. So in each and every folder, again, you need to have a different anatomy. And that's why if you go back to any kind of in GitHub library or anything else, people stopped writing, you know, programming very less and coding very heavily. And that is the reason why we have a vibe coding kind of a terminology. People stopped programming. Okay, because programming is different and coding is other different thing. People started coding. Coding is nothing but bunch of instruction. Programming is nothing but a lot of logic which comes into the picture. Okay, we have to understand that a lot. So right now, when you are talking to these systems, it's all about how your English, how your thinking process. Okay, comes into the picture, literally. Okay, so you need to understand them very deeply, and you need to understand those purpose. You need to understand that required input, complete prompt text, what you have to put it, and what is that expected output. So this is how you plan, and this is how you start building that asset for yourself. And you can start building an minimum of 15 prompts in each of them, or else you can start building maybe all together as a 15 also, and which will help us to share the knowledge across. I have told you a bunch of prompts in the session right now, right? So similarly, we can do it. And one of the key thing is, as I told you, it's a problem about, prompting or anything. It's a problem about the thinking, right? So you need to have the clear objective, clear context, clear constraints, and that will give you a layer which is known as clear instructions. Okay, prompting and coding, as I told you, coding is a bunch of instructions. So you are learning how to code a system. Okay, Python is not only the coding language. Okay, C is not only the coding language. These all right. Those are bunch of instructions when you are writing the Python program also. What you will have at the end of the day, it's all about if else statements or what else statements or where else statements or all that. That is what you get built. Okay. So underneath of that, when you have the clear instructions, you will get that executive graded output. And that quality of AI assistance and that quality of AI which comes and which reflects for your leaders. Okay, so that is the stuff. And today, which we have to do is we have to start building, the first version of the library for yourself, as we have seen, inside the planning, inside the reporting, inside the risk, inside the cyber security, IPAM, vendors, executive communications, process redesign, learning, and all that. So once you have that library in your place, you can utilize this library else anywhere, literally. Okay. So that's what it is for pretty much for today. I hope this makes sense, right? And what we are going to do and what it is. So Satish, if you want to open up and start discussing about them, I'll stop sharing the screen for some time, and you can start sharing, and so that we can reiterate on the prompts what we have discussed about the few shot prompting technique, right? If you're okay, then we can go ahead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are the prompts or what are the things that we
Yeah.
discussed? Are we able to get the reports or anything in
Hmm,
the
hmm, hmm, hmm.
based on the system requirement from the enterprise, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So those are the few short prompts as we have discussed. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to do any prompting right now and you want to, check out basically? For example,
Yeah, we can.
yeah, I'll send out, some stuff for you. Okay, you can start doing it maybe. I have shared it in our chat window. You can log in into OpGPT also, or else any other tools which you use pretty much. You ready? Yeah, yeah. Just send it off. Yeah. So yeah, if you just go ahead and start reading, as we have discussed in the prompt, the project information below is what we are saying, right? And it clearly says you, I don't have that kind of an information. So it is asking you to give you that kind of an information. Okay. So yeah, and once you give you that kind of an information, it will rank you that likelihood, it will give you that probability of occurrence, it will give you the list of confirmed assumptions and everything. Okay. So for this, whatever the system which we use at our offices or any other stuff, you can pretty much, integrate it. Okay. So
So these are the things where I need to
yes,
input
yes.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So you in follow-up, you are getting these kind of a stuff. So could you provide a template or example of the key information needed for each category so I can prepare it? So now you don't have that below information. You are in reverse asking it to give you a template or an example for whatever the key information which you are asking. If you go into that prompt, it is very much, clearly mentioned, right? Review the project information below.
Right.
Uh, so now it is drafting out you a small template, literally. And this is what you have to collect. And it is telling you how to use the template and how to collect the data and what it is. And even in a follow-up way, you can again ask it to simplify this if it is really getting confused and how do you, convert that particular data into impact of likelihood matrix. And these are just the bunch of follow-ups which you can literally do. Okay. And this is how you built a conversation with the one of your team member, which is nothing but your OpGPT. And if you go into OpGPT, there is a small button on your K. Once you press it on a K, okay, and there is settings. Go to settings, and you can see a thing which is known as personalization. Personalization underneath the interface, and you
That's
can
what I think.
it's an experimental. You can go ahead and manage, and you can put your entire job description and everything. Once you start applying for the different job, and once you get into a different job role and responsibilities and ownerships, you can pretty much put you can add that entire memory over here. You can put everything. What is your role and so day-to-day activities, what you want to do it, you put it over there and you can put it so that this particular OpGPT will work as an agent for you. Okay, the entire system will work as an agent and it will keep learning from your behavior. It will keep, learning, the things what you are doing and everything, literally. Okay. So you can start utilizing this tool at that level. Okay. So this is how you keep interacting and this is how you keep building this, the repository of the prompts for yourself, literally. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is,
What can I write? Can I write a cyber security?
it's up to you. Whatever you feel like right now, you can write it. Okay. In another sense, whatever, you want to do it, cybersecurity program manager, VP of program manager, and all that. You can write. This is your personalization space. Okay. So you can put all those kind of a things and you can start doing it. So right now in the above prompt, what you did is you have went in and you have asked the system to start behaving it as an enterprise risk advisor. Okay. So and that is the reason why it came back to you with that particular thing. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So in another sense, in few short prompt, you need to give lot of examples. Okay. And that is what you did in the current thing. You have gave, lot of examples. You are shooting them literally. And, these examples are nothing but, in the prompt, if you just see, one of the example is, identify the delivery, security, operational, vendor compliance, and change management risks. So these are the shots, what you are telling it. Okay. So now it gave you the interpretation of that particular map, how that interpretation of the map does. So you being at a program manager level, this entire instructions you can pass it on to your, subsidized people or any other people, literally, to your associates or whoever it is, right? So that is what. And always it is very good to use those two or three better examples for it so that it gets constrained to that level. Okay. And you show that and you get that variety of, inputs and variety of an, generalized situations. And right now, whatever you are seeing underneath, those are the generalized situations, right? So it is saying, assign owners and mitigations also. So for even everything, and this has to get into your mitigation plan and this everything, you can do that. Okay. So you keep learning in such a way. Okay. So this is in one of the useful prompt for you also. Okay, I'm sending it in the group chat right now. You can, because now you have personalized it as an, enterprise program manager and all that kind of it all. Cyber security program manager, right? So you can pretty much use this below prompt which I shared it to you so that you can get that project updates from there. And it's all about writing those layers of filters. Okay. Any other questions? So
Yeah, I
this
have
is
not
basically,
started anything. Then maybe I can start
yeah, please go ahead
looking
and
into
start,
this.
making that. See, now it says I am ready to draft the steering committee brief for you, but I will need the latest project updates, such as, milestones, uh, what milestones were just finished, current risks, and any open discussions or any. So you need to give these kind of a stuff. So you go to the new, chat window, you can ask it saying that, hey, you know what, I am chatting on the another window. Okay. And I'm doing so and so. Can you please, since we don't have the right data with us, you can invent the data. But when you are working at a job, and that is a caution what I'm giving, please do not invent the data. Okay. But when you are learning, it's fine. You invent the data, you understand the pattern of that data, and you get to know. So you can ask, prepare something which is the latest project updates, which contains so and so information, which are milestones, which are finished milestones, current risk, any open discussions, and all. So once you put that, it can get it. And you can also see that follow up. Can you provide a ready to use one page steering report template? I can fill in with my data you are seeing. Okay. So it will create you that template. But before this, you need to understand what the data looks like. Okay. And that one
Yeah.
will give you a clear path and clear picture to come back and start chatting with in this particular window so that it will create you that one pager steering committee template for you. And it will create that, uh, a review of that project information, what you have asked earlier. And it will work as your, enterprise program manager for you and all that. Okay. So you can go into the another chat window, the new chat window. Just press on plus over there. Just that's all. Just press on plus. New chat. That's all. You can ask the system. as an SOC analyst or any other person, prepare you know, the information which you want. In the last chat, what you have, you can take that and you can copy paste it over here. That's all. Yeah. Click on that button on the above one, on the G, that one. Open, so this one. Okay. And you copy that. Can you provide? You can copy that. Yeah.
Oh,
Go back. That's fine. Let it do its job. It's okay. So you can copy this entire thing. Just click on the copy one pager steering committee report CIS, CIO, CISO, and everything. You copy this.
do you want me to copy one page steering committee?
Copy this. That's fine. Underneath, full level till over here, till key metrics and all that, and ask the system to fill the data. Give me the sample data. That's all. All you have to do is just give me the sample data or create a synthetic data, which you can ask for. No, go back to the new chat. You don't have to open the new window. Press on new chat. Uh, Paste this entire prompt. Okay. Help me to fill this with the synthetic data. Help me to fill this with the synthetic data as a enterprise risk advisor. You got it?
Okay. But this is going to be an Excel sheet or it's going to be in a PDF?
It's up to you. You can put that in an Excel, you can share it, you can put it in a PDF. It's all depends on you itself. Okay? Literally. So it tells you also, what is the best practice. Okay? Whatever you want to put it, you can put it in any format. If you have your Excel, you can just put it.
So just to remind you, there are 3 more minutes to end this session. So if you want me to extend, I'll extend the time.
No, this is fine. We'll just halt it because right now, Satish has to sit down and start working on that particular stuff. Okay. So now he got to know how to code the AI system, right? So yeah, good. Whatever we've been doing, it's good. And yeah, Satish, as you have time right now, you can pretty much go ahead and start experimenting with a lot of things over here, and you don't have any token maximization or token anything. This is freely available for the people, and you can pretty much use it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the things to do?